Hello, it's Dr. Elizabeth Alter. Are you constantly clearing your throat, coughing, or have a constant runny nose? These are issues that in the immediate seem like they are cold symptoms, so we usually think we're about to get sick, etc. But then we don't get sick, fully sick, and they kind of linger. So what could these symptoms mean if they're not that you're sick or that you have allergies, meaning seasonal allergies? The problem with the symptoms I just mentioned is that they have a lot to do with not just allergies but sensitivities. So when we have an allergy, sometimes the body will react almost violently against a certain allergen. So let's say you're allergic to shellfish, peanuts, things like this, you will have a severe allergic reaction. But there's some allergic reactions that are more subtle, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So things like clearing your throat, a dry cough that doesn't go away, a runny nose that comes and goes, things like this can be a sign of a food allergy. And food allergies are not as simple to figure out as they might seem or be advertised as. I've had several patients contact me about certain tests that they saw online. Um, some are pretty cheap to let you know what food allergies you have, or rather, food sensitivities. And sometimes it's not just food sensitivities, but also environmental sensitivities. So you could be sensitive to mold, certain preservatives in personal products, certain dyes in personal products, and even some over the counter medications or antibiotics. So, again, it's not an allergy, but this sensitivity. So, it triggers something in your body that makes you a little sick, but not sick enough. So, over the years, I've used several types of tests to figure out patients' issues with this. And the what I've learned overall is that there is no set way to figure this out. You do need some sort of sensitivity testing to start with, but it's mostly by trial and error afterwards that you can really figure out what is truly your sensitivity or not. So I've had some patients do several sensitivity tests over the years via blood, for instance, and they will sometimes have certain foods or chemicals that are consistent throughout the tests. And then sometimes, just from their own experience, whenever they eat something, they either get itchy, they start having to clear their throat, the runny nose, the dry cough, this sort of thing. But it's important to keep pursuing this and keep figuring it out, because if you don't, this sort of sensitivity can put your body at risk for other diseases, because it's almost as if your body's busy signaling that something, this food or environmental um, allergen doesn't agree with it, and then you may not be fighting off other diseases, you may be weakening your immune system. So I always tell patients not to get discouraged and keep searching for whatever sensitivities they might have. So again, one of the basic ways is blood testing. So there's several blood tests that can be done, and they usually range from $700 to as high as $1,200, depending on how extensively you want to be tested. But I always tell patients, if they're going to do it, to try to get tested for as many things as possible, because then you have that knowledge. And sensitivity testing is not something like blood testing that you do every 4 to 6 months to a year. I usually tell patients to wait about 2 years before testing again. And the other way to figure this out is to not eat something. So let's use something easy as cow milk, which, if you've been my patient, you know that I tell you that even if you are okay, if you don't get sick on cow milk, I still tell you to avoid it at all costs, because it causes a cascade of events to occur. But that's material for another video. But so let's say we want to see if cow milk is the problem. So what you would do is you would not consume cow milk for 7 to 10 days, and then keep track of how you're feeling, how you're doing, or whatever that symptom is. So let's say it's clearing your throat, and then on that 11th day you consume, let's say, several servings of cow milk. And then if you see that the symptom comes back, then you know you have the sensitivity to that. So that's called elimination, or some people refer to as an elimination diet. Usually, elimination diet refers to eliminating several things from your diet. But this is another way you can figure this out. But hopefully this will be helpful. And remember, it's always important, regardless of your food sensitivities or environmental sensitivities, that you take your probiotics, because fortifying your gut is your main defense against being too sensitive. So when I have a patient that brings me a list of 20 things they're sensitive to, I know that their gut needs work. And the most basic thing is to take probiotics and digestive enzymes as well. Well, I hope this helps, and have a healthy day.